short chapter, and it's called That Night in Sinister Roman Fort. Sinister. Roman Fort Sinister. That's the name of the fort. Far, far away from Burke in the sinister Fort Sinister, there was a dungeon so deep beneath sea level that no light ever reached it. In a dungeon so far away that even the gods had forgotten it existed. Oh no, Toothless, who was afraid of the dark and of small spaces, lay in utter blackness in a cage so cramped he could hardly turn over. He was crying. Help! Whimpered poor Toothless in a voice he knew could not be heard. Help! Oh no. That's Toothless. Help, whispered poor Toothless in a voice he knew could not be heard. Well, Hiccup is going to come and save him. I know he is. I know he is. Okay, chapter 7. He really needs to go and save that suit. Help that Toothless. I'm going to read you a bit more of the next chapter because that was quite short. Hiccup woke very early. He had just been having a lovely dream about playing a tickling game with Toothless, and he woke up laughing. For a moment, everything was all right again, and he forgot Toothless had gone and reached out for him, only to feel the chilly, damp depression in the bed where Toothless ought to have been. He was instantly miserable again, and lay teeth chattering under the bedclothes, trying to get up the willpower to brave the cold and get dressed in the still slightly damp and salty clothes he was wearing yesterday. He gradually became aware that what had woken him was a very faint and tiny singing noise, a reedy little sound like the wind caught in a cowrie shell, but with an edge of menace to it. The song went something like this. Song of the Nanny Dragon, and it's written in very tiny writing. Do you see? Because nanny dragons are very tiny. Song of the Nanny Dragon, sung while licking off honey. Oh, human fatness who tried to eat me, great wobbling vomit of repulsive man flesh, I cannot kill you now, though I would like to. But you will regret this, blubber man. You will regret this in the quiet darkness of the night time, for I have friends. I have friends who will eat you into nightmares. I have friends. Their feet will plough your skin into rashes, and you will sleep no more. Oh, stomach with a head on it, you will sleep no more. Oh, balloon of a lard who tried to eat me, man uglier than an exploded jellyfish. I cannot kill you now, though I would like to. But I can wait, flesh dangler. I can wait, ticking in the corner like fate. And I have friends who will crawl with me into your coffin while you are lying, hoping for the quiet sleep of death. And we will eat you, oh sad lump of mad meat. Man meat, we will eat you. Where was this song coming from? Eventually, Hiccup realised the noise seemed to be sneaking out of the jacket he had worn the day before and left to dry on the back of a chair in front of the fire. And then he remembered the nano dragon he had replaced with an electric squirm and put in his pocket. Hiccup braced himself against the cold, jumped out of bed, dragged his clothes on and approached the jacket. Carefully, he put his hand into the pocket and drew it out again with a gasp. Not only was there a yucky, warm mess of honey in there, but the nano dragon had bitten him on the end of his finger. Remember that nano dragon he rescued from being eaten by the fat guy in charge on the Roman ship. Anyway, as Hiccup put his finger in his mouth, you should always do this with a nano dragon bite. It helps to draw out the sting. The nano dragon flew out of his pocket, fluttered around the room and landed on the windowsill. The nano dragon had spent the night cleaning the sticky honey off his body with his tongue. He was a handsome little beast, and he knew it. No bigger than a grasshopper, he was a gleaming rust red with flecks of charcoal, and the morning sun shone through the gossamer thin wings and threw red and black spots all round the room. Something about the self-importance of the little animal, the arrogance with which he held himself, made Hiccup ask, "Who are you?" So there you can you see the nano dragon sitting on the end of Hiccup's finger? Just look how important he feels he is, that nanny dragon.
I, squeaked the little creature grandly, am the centre of the universe.
He can't look carefully at the very small animal in front of him. You are? He said, polite but amazed. You mean you are Thor or Woden in disguise?
Thor and Woden,
Snorted the creature derisively.
fairy stories. I am Zigarastica, the living god.
He can't look blank.
Most high and mighty ruler of the Nano Empire, despot of the northern grasses.
Hiccup shook his head regretfully.
You must know about me, piped Zigarastica, great scourge of the bracken dwellers. Doesn't that ring any bells at all?
Yes, Zigarastica. I love him. Nope, said Hiccup. I'm so sorry. I've never heard of you before.
I don't know you humans, fumed Zigarastica,
Hugely offended.
ignorant as well as ugly.
I'm not ugly, protested Hiccup. That is a very rude thing to say. Zigarastica wasn't listening.
You're so caught up in your own world that you never bother to lower your fat noses to the ground and have a look at what's going on in the real world. Well, boy with a face like a stinky haddock, you have had the good fortune to save the life of the most powerful being in the galaxy.
If you're the most powerful being in the galaxy, said Hiccup, how come you didn't get your nanny dragons to come and save you from the big fat Roman?
Even a living god has his weak spots, replied Zigarastica, and mine happens to be honey. I love the stuff, but the nano dragon cried for help is created by rubbing the back legs together.
Sorry. The nano dragon
Cry for help is created by rubbing the back legs together.
It's a bit of a disadvantage for the biggest, the most glorious being in the universe.
And honey comes up the noise. It is delicious, though.
However, the point is that since you have saved my life, I am honour bound to save yours in return, however huge and stinking and wingless you may be. Thank you, murmured Hiccup.
With an ugly nose,
added the creature, and those funny marks that look like spots. Those are freckles, said Hiccup indignantly.
But, they're not nice,
said Zigarastica. But the living god does not forget. But the living god does not forget. Hang on, where are my glasses? Okay. The living god, quite small, the nanny dragon writing, does not forget a debt. That's right. In water danger, you just have to say the word Zigarastica, and I shall come to your aid. And what on earth could someone as small as you do? Hiccup thought to himself, but it would have been rude to say it. How will you hear me? He asked instead. The nanny dragon ignored the question. Just say the word Zigarastica and I will come. However, be warned, you can call me on my most glorious aid just once. Just once. There's always a trick with these things. And once alone. When I have repaid my debt, you will just become another smelly, repellent human to me. So choose your time wisely, boy with spots on his ugly nose. Choose your time wisely. And with that, the rude little animal gave a last shake of its wings and flew out the window. Hiccup wasn't quite sure what to make of this conversation. It seemed unlikely that a creature as small as Zigarastica could be as powerful as he seemed to think he was. But, on the other hand, I need all the help I can get, Hiccup thought gloomily. And I'll read the second half of the chapter tomorrow.